Hi there, everyone. My name is Christian Eschbach, and welcome to Confessions of a Domestic Engineer. And I'm going to talk about my thoughts on The New Doctor. Alright, so, The New Doctor. Let's give it a little space here so I can pop up some pictures. The New Doctor has been announced. That is, I do apologize if I say this incorrectly. I really do strive to try and do names correct. But, Ncuti Gatwa. Alright? Now, I am very familiar with this actor on the show, Sex Education. I think he's fantastic on the show. Wonderful actor. I have nothing against him. I'm interested to see what they do with this character, and let me explain. Okay, so the picture I'm putting up here of Ncuti, I really dig this picture. Okay, this picture is, I've got it on my computer. Sorry, so I'm looking at it over here. Give me a second. I really dig this picture, and the reason I dig this picture is he doesn't look like anything. He looks like everything. He's this wonderful blend of so many different vibes and feelings and whatnot, that if this is how the Doctor actually looked, I would be cool with it. Maybe give him a proper shirt because, let's not sexualize the Doctor, please. We have never sexualized the Doctor. Let's not start now. So, but the jacket's really cool. I think he looks really suave, really debonair, very, 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 very nice. Attractive dude, too. Now, let's be clear, I am straight. I find penises very ugly. I'm not interested in penis at all. But I can appreciate a decent-looking man when I see one, and he is a suave, decent-looking man here, okay? That being said, and this goes with what I just said a second ago, I didn't know. I know he played a gay character on Sex Education. I didn't know if he was gay or not. I'm not going to make those assumptions. It's called acting for a reason. So I found out that he actually was gay in real life. Okay, whatever. And I know this is going to rub people the wrong way when I say this, but I really hope they do not play the Doctor up as a gay black man. All right? Hear me out on this one, okay? Yes, the Doctor regenerates and becomes different personalities, but typically, even from watching some older Doctor Who stuff like that, a character's sexual preferences doesn't necessarily change with the Doctors when they switch forms. I'm not 100% sure on that one. It's not a topic that's really come up too much. But, for X number of years, the Doctor has historically only been into women. Alright? There's only one woman we've ever seen on the show that he's actually had a true love interest with, I believe, and that's River Song. I mean, I've been watching back Classic Who, and I've never seen him have a love interest in Classic Who. It was not even with other Time Lords, really. The romantic kind of notions are more recent. Now, even with... And I don't want to hear the horrible black oppression thing coming out of the Doctor's mouth either. Let me explain why I'm saying this, okay? I looked forward so much to Jodie Whittaker taking over the role of Doctor Who. And I was so excited about it because of what they did with the Master, making the Master into Missy. Missy was the true embodiment of the Master, okay? Without a doubt, the true embodiment of the Master, just in a female body. There was no doubting when they started doing little hints and stuff like that. If you're paying attention, you know that Missy was the Master. You could tell just by the behavior. And at that point, I had only ever experienced one master. When they introduced Missy, I hadn't seen any of the Backmaster episodes because I hadn't started watching Back Who yet. So I came in with, the Eccleston run and, going forward from there. And to be completely honest, when I started watching it right before the regeneration of Tennant into Matt Smith. And I actually had to stay purposely behind on the 5th season while my whole family was catching up on everything, on the back episodes and whatnot. So there was no spoilers. So that's where I started. But I've watched a lot of back episodes, and even watching the back episodes, Missy was without a doubt the master. Okay, and when they switched the master over, I'm sorry, I don't have the name up in front of me, and I'll pop up a nice picture here with a name. When they switched Missy into the new master yet again, there was no doubting that was the master. Okay, so when you got to the Doctor turning into Jodie Whittaker, it really honestly wasn't the Doctor anymore. One of the very first episodes that really upset me and really started turning me off was the witch episode in the first season that Jodie Whittaker was in, when they went back in time and whatnot. And all of a sudden they're really playing down that the Doctor can't take control of a situation because he's a female, and the companion had that never would have happened with Missy. Okay? Never would have happened with Missy. Missy would have totally had control of that entire situation, without a doubt. Alright? And every other Doctor would have had control of that situation, playing and manipulating behind the scenes, without a doubt. Jodie Whittaker's entire run as the Doctor, one, can be played up to bad writing, because there was just a lot of really badly written episodes. There was a couple that I thought were interesting, but a vast majority of them were just, eh. And with Jodie Whittaker, I liked her on, I want to call it Broadchurch, but I don't remember. I'm probably screwing it up and I'm mixing it up with the American version. I watched the American version and the British version of the same show, and I can't remember. And David Tennant starred in both of them. But I can't remember the name of it. I'll pop it up on the screen. Jodie Whittaker, though, was in that, and I enjoyed her in there. I didn't realize that was her range as an actress, though. Because basically the way she was in that show is kind of what carries over into the Doctor. It's not a change of character. She's not acting. That's just who she is. So it leads me to believe that they got the wrong actress to take the role on as well. They should have gotten someone better. Because once again, Missy was brilliant when they did the gender swap. Absolutely brilliant. But now, because what they did with Jodie Whittaker and how they screwed that up so badly, I'm not really looking forward to, them now doing a race and possibly a sexuality swap with the Doctor. And it's because I'm worried they're going to play it up too much. And there's nothing wrong with the Doctor. There's nothing wrong with gay characters. And the reason why I say that is I absolutely adored Bill. I absolutely, totally adored Bill, and she got it so bad. Oh my God. Alright. I'm also not a Doctor Who fan that says the whole Jodie Whittaker thing ruined Doctor Who. Clara. The character Clara. I like the actress. Nothing against the actress. The character of Clara ruined Doctor Who. They kept Clara around way too long. Honestly, when Matt Smith was done, she should have been done. I don't think she should have carried on with Capaldi, or she should have only carried on for a small period of time with Capaldi, not as long as she did. They tried to make Clara basically into a bigger character than any other companion had ever been. And you're talking also about, bigger than Sarah Jane, you know? How do you try and make a character bigger than someone like Sarah Jane? You can't do that. Try to make her bigger than Rose, like more meaningful to the Doctor than Rose. How? How? It's no, it's absolutely ridiculous. So Clara for me is what really started to kill Doctor Who. And if Bill had come in sooner, I think Doctor Who would have picked back up sooner. I know a lot of people complained about Bill. I absolutely love Bill. Bill was fantastic. And one of the reasons why Bill was fantastic is Bill was a companion. I love companions. Like, my absolute favorite companion is Donna. And that's because Donna was purely, of the modern Who, Donna was absolutely a pure companion. Everybody else had this deep family bond, we'll call it, with the Doctor. Whereas Donna Noble and the Doctor were just, they were best friends. You know, like they were two people that couldn't stand each other that ended up having this great, amazing friendship. And to this day, I really have a hard time with Donna's last episode. Oh, it absolutely, like, I'm still right now, I'm fighting getting misty-eyed because it really broke me when they took away Donna's memories. Oof, you can hear it in my voice, man. Broke me. Bawled like a little baby when that happened. And you know, you got Amy and Rory in there too. And Amy, I mean, the problem, I loved Amy, but I actually liked Rory better than Amy. Because Rory was a fucking man. Ooh, sorry, naughty language. But it's true. Rory was a man. Those two loved each other. And that was the type of love you wanted to see. And River is fantastic. Can't watch that in reverse, man. You watch that backwards, you go back and watch the library episodes. Oh, right here, man. Oh. So, I have no issues with any of that stuff. I just don't want them screwing up the Doctor again like they did with Jodie Whittaker. You know, they have an opportunity to just have this great actor come back and reboot a great character. And when I say reboot, I mean they're regenerating. So you get to regenerate a new character. Now, let me be very, very clear. Very, very clear. I'm pissed off as all hell. The Doctor still is not a ginger. Alright? Not cool. Apparently companions can be gingers. You know, gingers and redheads and blah, 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 blah. But no, we can't get the Doctor as one. No. But yeah, I do look forward to this kid taking over the role. And I say kid because he's a younger actor, okay? I mean, I just finished watching him on Netflix's Sex Education. And really, go check it out, you know. I do not want them playing the Doctor up like that, though. I don't want him... And I mean, he was not flamboyantly... His outward presentation and his fashion sense was flamboyant. Him as a gay man on a television show was not your typical flamboyant. You know, yes, he had some of the cliche mannerisms, but you can find some of those cliche mannerisms in other behaviors of the Doctor from the past anyways. I just don't want them making the Doctor into Scott Thompson's Buddy from Kids in the Hall. Love Buddy. Kids in the Hall. Love the new episodes on Prime. You gotta watch them. You should watch the old episodes first. Loved it when Buddy came back, okay? So, but I don't want the Doctor like that. That's not the Doctor. Alright? So I don't want to see that. What I want to see is I want to see someone playing the Doctor as the Doctor still, and not demeaning. That, to me, that's what happened with Jodie Whittaker taking over the Doctor, is they demeaned the Doctor. It was like they were punishing the Doctor for something, because it had only been white guys playing it up until that point. It had only been men playing it up to that point, because the first Doctor was a sexist character. The first Doctor was written in 1963. All right? He was... Okay, so you can't... You do really have to be considerate when you're thinking about stuff like that. You know, watching classic Doctor Who, which I've really been watching a lot of it. My TV gets special channels, and classic Doctor Who's playing on there. Plus, I'll be honest, you know, I went surfing the high seas, me auntie, and I got all the episodes on the download. All right, horrible pirate accent. Sorry, guys. But watching, you know, Sarah Jane was not a sexy character. She was a wonderful character. She was not a sexy character. But there was the other girl that wore the leather, whose name I can't remember off the top of my head, who came from like a tribal savage, you know, pre-industrialized planet. You know, so she tended to wear skins, and they weren't all covering, you know, classic barbarian girl kind of thing during that run. A little risque for those days, I say. Very risque. But, you know, then you got, oh man, I've got so many different names. Romana, who was an actual Time Lord traveling with the Doctor. She dressed so sun. She was head to toe, had her own little scarf even, but head to toe, long coat, like totally covered up, the exact opposite of the loincloth girl. And the way she dresses, man, she was hot. Now, to be fair though, when it comes to Classic Who, most of the female characters tended to be female representation of that time. You did not get a lot of stronger characters like you obviously do now. But even when you go by you do now, Rose was still kind of a bit of a girl. More of a classic girl. I mean, a little stronger, but you can see it in the episode with her and Sarah Jane when they're together. She wasn't a far stretch away from where they had been. Martha was a little bit stronger. Donna was an enigma. I love Donna, man. Donna Noble. And then what was it? And then Amy. Amy was honestly, or Amelia, was honestly the first outside of River, but you can't really count River yet, because, you know, when you get that first switch over from Tennant to Smith, River had only been in there once. So when you get into it now, though, you get to Amy, and Amy was the first actual strong, commanding female character there really was on Doctor Who. And that was great. And, you know, then you get to Clara, and Clara is the strong, commanding female with really no reason for being a strong, commanding female. Like, they really kind of botched Clara's storyline, especially going into this whole... They did this giant, great buildup of Clara for this thing where she's always been throughout the Doctor's life at all these different points, and then they almost kind of completely forget about it and scrap it. And move on with her just being a normal girl where she's some super, you know, for some reason has this great command over the Doctor, and it was really kind of this horrible thing that they did. Because they took this girl that really wasn't anything more than honestly, she was a second-rate companion. And when you look at a lot of the classic companions, she's really no better than, and their names are going to escape me right now, the first two companions that the Doctor stole with him, the first Doctor stole. So it's... but then every other female they started bringing in had to be this super strong, all of a sudden unit is commanded by a female, and everybody that's underneath her that is worth even mentioning by name is also a female. And I'm great with female empowerment, and once again I was excited for the Doctor to become a female. Blew up in my face. Missy is a fantastic character, and watching Classic Who, she's better than a couple of the other masters, okay? Like, Missy was brilliant. So there's this mixed bag going on. Now, I believe it's Russell T Davies is coming back to do Doctor Who, and I believe Russell, I know he's done, I believe Russell is gay. I'm not 100%. Don't quote me on that one. I know he's done a lot of gay related, LGBT related shows. And not LGBT, because, this is Russell T Davies that already did Doctor Who and did it during his best years, arguably, So he's coming back to run it, and he's got a great actor who I think has the persona, the energy, and the ability to play it up really well. I don't want them... I want them to make the Doctor again. And I'm not even saying that they have to have the Doctor, they don't have to have this actor playing as a straight Doctor, okay? But I don't want them playing the Doctor as a gay Doctor either. I mean, you can go back to a sexually ambiguous Doctor, per se, Like, there was... Like, with Classic Who, I don't think they ever gave the Doctor any romance. I believe that was actually a big thing that a lot of people hated when they first brought Rose on the show, was the romance. I don't want... After all the years of the Doctor pushing off Captain Jack, who is another character I absolutely love. Oh, fantastic. I don't all of a sudden want to see the Doctor even give Captain Jack a second thought. You know what I'm saying? I hope that helps sum it up. But meanwhile, I do love when Captain Jack is constantly trying to, flirt and whatnot. It's great. And, I love watching the Doctor. No, down boy. I love watching that kind of stuff with the Doctor and Captain Jack. But I don't want to see the two of them flirting with each other now all of a sudden, Especially considering, once again, attractive man playing the Doctor now. And it's the type of attractive man I could see Captain Jack definitely being, whoa, So it would make sense. That's what I would really like to see. Have Captain Jack come back, and not in the shitty way they did with Jodie. Actually have Captain Jack come back and really play it up. But I'd love to see him constantly start flirting with the Doctor, and the Doctor constantly say, dude, River, right? And that's the one thing there I always want to kind of see is I always kind of want to... All right, we know the Doctor had a granddaughter in the very beginning. So we know that the Doctor had to have had a marriage somewhere in there, theoretically before River, okay? And I believe, I haven't watched enough of the first Doctor's run to hear the stories behind it and stuff like that, but I believe it was mentioned that she might have been human. So yeah, as I was saying, I think it might have been mentioned that the Doctor's first wife was human. I'm not 100% sure. But the thing is, playing with Time Lords, somewhere along the way, River could have easily popped out a baby that we're unaware of. And where would be the easiest spot to hide this baby? With the first Doctor. This is your granddaughter from blah, 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 blah. there's always a possibility as well that there might not be a mother, and the granddaughter could be Ginny's child that was dropped off to keep it sane. And man, do we need to get Ginny back in there. Oh my god. I absolutely. Oh, fantastic. I would love to see that character come back. I'm looking forward to David Tennant coming back as well for his limited run that he's coming back for. I'm really interested to see how this whole thing is going to play out in the next little bit. It's going to be an exciting time, I think. It's going to be really interesting to see what happens. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to leave it on a positive note, okay? So once again, I'm really looking forward to this actor taking over. And I'm really looking forward to some of the stuff they can do, that this actor can do. But once again, we have to remember that this is an actor playing a role. The role should not reflect the actor. I mean, in certain ways it definitely can. But don't do the mistake they did with Jodie. You know, actually make the Doctor the Doctor. Just someone new playing the Doctor with their little twist on it. Let's not completely change up the Doctor's history again. And let's retcon that whole past crap thing if they haven't already. I haven't watched any of the new specials that have come out with Jodie, so let's be clear on that. I'm actually a season behind right now. I'm basically waiting. Weirdly enough, I'm waiting for Stranger Things to come out and my subscription with Netflix, and then I'll start up a new subscription with the service I need to watch Doctor Who and catch back up. I'll be caught up by the time the last episode, the last special comes out anyways. Anyway, folks, leave your comments below. Let me know what you think. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. There is a link to Patreon. That would be much appreciated. And peace, love, take care.